I came to the Raise Your Game in at the Emirates last April, just after Arsenal won the Cup semi-final. Just put that one in there. And basically, I remember seeing him and thinking, right, he works for the Premier League. He seems to have quite a high position. You're never going to get a better moment than now to speak to him. And I'm a believer that you need to, it's not just about you having the knowledge and knowing that you're good or someone telling you that you're good. You need kind of people to help light your path a little bit and kind of, wave your flag and say, yeah, don't forget this guy. And for me, he got me back in touch with a few very senior people at Premier League Productions. And it just kind of kept me in their consciousness, because I met with them about a year and a half before. But it's all well and good them meeting you then. When the time that it comes for them looking again, you need to be one of the names they pick out of the hat. And that's where it helped with someone like Alistair. He had the cachet. I approached him. I emailed him. He saw my show reel, my details, my CV. And he was like, actually, you know what? Let me flag you up to the guys. And they were like, bing, yeah, we'll remember him. And then a few months after that, they brought me in just before the start of the season. So yeah, contacts are essential. And Raise Your Game helped me a lot with that.
Would you say Raise Your Game helped you to break into the football world?
I would say one of the biggest aspects, yes. I mean, I was fortunate that I was already doing a form of broadcasting, but that was not really, that was around Bundesliga football and some Pakistan charity matches, and so it wasn't doing Premier League football. Going to that event actually allowed me to build contacts with the BBC as well. One of the commentators there, Robin Cohen, who I met, kind of helped open up some doors for me to get in contact with Shelley Alexander, who's helping me build my profile that way. So yeah, it was a massive opportunity in a window where it's like all the people you need to possibly speak to about the one sport you love are there to take advantage and to really sell yourself. Because you can send hundreds and hundreds of CVs or emails and, get LinkedIn contacts. But unless you either speak to those people directly or, best of all, see them face to face, talk to them, that's where you get the opportunity. Without that, it's very, very difficult, because they can see in your eyes how serious you are. They'll hear it, they'll see it in your eyes, they'll see it in your soul. They'll know if you're worth investing in at that point.
In your own words, tell us how you initially broke into the industry.
This is going to probably be the most peculiar one you ever hear. I had an astrology reading done 9 years ago, something like that, at the Kabbalah Centre. I went there, and the astrologer said to me, you have the ability to present. I'm like, what? She said, I can see it here. You will make a fantastic broadcaster. What do you love? I said, I love football. She said, that's where you should focus on, sport, football, you should do it. And eventually get into live TV. That's your thing. And I laughed, but I was like, okay. And then I left it for about a year or two, because I was so like, yeah, whatever, and there was a lot of fear involved. And then eventually I was kind of a bit stuck in my job, and I'm like, I have to either make a shift. So I booked on a course, a 2-day kind of course, and I eventually got a show reel made out of it. And then doing that, going around, doing vox pops, speaking to people, being in the studio, reading auto cues, I was realising, look, although I haven't come from a natural journalistic background, I have the passion in me to want to do this. Like a switch turned on inside of me. I'm like, this is what I want to do. So from there, I just went out and go to many events where I can just network and speak to people. And from there, I was able to get a couple of castings or screen tests, really, for a lot of African media stuff. Again, very small. Wasn't successful with that, but eventually the person who I actually met for that screen test kept my details. And I kept in contact with him for the best part of 18 months, 2 years. And eventually he called me and says, Marsh, I've got something else. Come in, I really want you to get this. Did the screen test and the company picked me. And that was a football show for the German Bundesliga that I've been doing the last 2-3 seasons. You know, that's slowly winding down now, but that was my way in. And so, yeah, that was how I started. And that gave me the confidence to start, you know what, well, if I can do one show, I can do even more. And that's what led me to go out to Pakistan to do a charity match with Ronaldinho, Ryan Giggs, Robert Pires. And that, again, also has led me to doing what I do now with Premier League Productions.